You know what's been bugging me for months now? This Bronco. And not because it drives bad, because it doesn't. Not because I don't like the suspension, I actually do. The problem is every time I walk into this garage, I still catch myself wishing it sat just a little bit taller. And that started sending me down the same road most of us go down. Should I buy different coilovers? Should I add spacers? Should I add a body lift? Should I just throw more money at this thing? Lord knows I spend enough. And then I stopped because that's not usually how I solve problems. Instead, I started looking at the suspension that was already under this thing. And I think I found the first thing I need to try. I'm John and this is Project KEHM. I buy it, I build it, I live with it, then I tell you what actually worked. Now before we get into where I am today, I think it's important to explain why I chose the Bilstein 6112s in the first place. Because this wasn't an impulse buy. I spent a lot of time researching suspension before I even ordered a single part. There were plenty of options on the market. Some offered more lift and some cost a lot more money. And some were built more towards high-speed off-road use, but that's not really what I was after. This Bronco isn't a dedicated trail rig, it's my daily driver, and I wanted something that would improve the ride, handle the extra weight of 37s, and give me better control off-road, and still be comfortable enough to drive every day. The Bilstein 6112s checked all of those boxes. And just as important, I like Bilstein's approach instead of one fixed ride height. The 6112s give you multiple snap ring positions, and this allows you to fine-tune your Bronco for multiple configurations. Two-door, four-door Sasquatch, and non-Sasquatch. Different weights require different settings. So when it came time to install mine, I didn't try to outsmart the engineers. I followed the recommendations to my specific Bronco. I figured the smartest thing I could do was start with the suspension exactly the way Bilstein intended. Put some miles on it, then decide if I wanted to change anything. And that's exactly what I did. When I installed these Bilstein 6112s, I knew that up to 3.5 inches of lift didn't mean my Bronco was gonna get 3.5 inches of lift. So I installed them exactly the way Bilstein recommended for my Bronco. Then I told myself I'd drive it, live with it, and if I still wanted more height later, I'd deal with it then. Well, I've lived with it, and I think it's time to revisit that decision. When I bought these Bilstein 6112s, I thought I understood exactly what I was getting. I knew up to didn't mean I was getting 3.5 inches of lift. But what I didn't understand was just how conservative Bilstein's recommended settings would be, especially for my Bronco. And honestly, I expected the finished product to sit a little bit taller than it actually does. And part of that comes from my last build. I had the Gladiator. I installed a Mopar 2-inch lift, and it delivered exactly what it advertised, even then some. So naturally, I expected something similar here. Maybe not 3.5 inches, but more than what I ended up with. And I've talked about this before. Even my wife walked into the garage, looked at it, and said I thought it would be taller. And the funny thing is, I was already thinking the exact same thing. So I started digging. The more I researched, the more I realized the advertised lift numbers weren't the real story. The key words are up to. Because up to depends on your Bronco. Two-door, four-door, Sasquatch, non-Sasquatch, even the engine weight, vehicle, and accessories, all of that matters. And when I installed these 6112s, I followed Bilstein's application chart exactly. And at that time, I wasn't chasing the biggest lift numbers. I wanted the suspension set up exactly how Bilstein engineered it for my Bronco. And I'm glad I did that, because now I've got thousands of miles on the suspension. I know exactly how it rides, I know exactly what I like, and I know exactly what I would change. And from day one, I knew these shocks had additional adjustment available, both front and rear. And I also knew Bilstein wasn't recommending those positions for my application. And that's why at that time, I left them alone. I wanted actual real seat time before I made that decision. And now I got that seat time. I could install top spacers, I could install new coilovers, I could even install a body lift. And those are all legitimate options. But before I spend another dollar, I keep coming back to one thing I've always said over and over again. Use your resources. I already invested in high quality suspension, and it still has adjustment built into it that I haven't even explored yet. So that's where I'm starting. So here's how I'm looking at it. There isn't a free inch of lift. Every additional inch changes geometry. Alignment changes, CV angles change, steering geometry changes, component loads change. And those compromises exist, whether the height comes from another coilover, a top spacer, or another snap ring position. And I'm not looking for a way around the compromises, I already understand the compromises. I'm already running Icon upper control arms, so I'm evaluating this Bronco based on the parts that are actually under it. And what I'm trying to figure out is the smartest way to get where I want to be. And before I replace a suspension I already like, I'm going to explore the adjustment that's already built into it. And if changing the snap ring positions get me where I want to be, great. And if it doesn't, then I'll move on knowing that I started with the most logical option. So that's where I'm at today. And before I order any other suspension, before I buy spacers, and before I even think about a body lift, I'm going to revisit the adjustment that's already built into these Bilstein 6112s. And maybe that's all this Bronco needs. And maybe it isn't, but that's the first place I'm going to look. So that's the plan, and before I start replacing perfectly good parts, I'm going to find out exactly what this suspension can do. Maybe moving the snap ring gets me to where I want to be, and maybe it doesn't. But either way, I'll know I didn't skip over the first option and jump right to spending more money. And I'm going to document the entire process, so if it works, you're going to see it, and if it doesn't, you'll see that too. Because that's what Project KEHM's all about. I buy it, I build it, I live with it, and then I tell you if it actually works. I'm John, and this is Project KEHM.